So much of your life is spent taking care of others, showing love in ways no other could. Now it's our turn to show you how much we care. Introducing Leasera from Mobitel, a special package for women with a free life insurance cover up to 500,000 rupees. Leasera, empowering women today for a secure tomorrow. Mobitel, we care always.
If you're looking for a leasing company to make your wheels go round, with fast, friendly and hassle-free service, together with flexibility and the best interest rates in town, let us show you how we can make your world go round. People's Leasing Company. We're the #1 in leasing because pleasing people is our #1 priority.
Back in the spotlight, the World Bank's country director, Diarietou Gaye. She joins us now to talk about some burning issues, including sustainability, poverty, malnutrition, and also Sri Lanka's economy. But here's one of the biggest burning issues that we would like to talk to her about. Ms. Gaye, the spread of corruption and the impact it has on development. What are your views?
You would know that the World Bank is very much involved in issues that have to do with corruption and governance in general. In that, Sri Lanka is not really an outlier. If you look at the ranking in most of the indexes that look into corruption, Sri Lanka ranks in the middle. I'm not saying that corruption is not, or governance is not an issue. I think it is. I think we need to be very careful about those things. We've been working very closely with the government on making sure that the procurement and financial management are being done in a proper way so that they get the best possible deal. At least when it comes to our project, we're very careful about that. We do advise government also on general governance issue and raise their attention when we see issues that they need to look into. And at the end of the process, your reputation as a country in terms of governance is what will make people come or go. And I'm thinking about investment again.
So how can we root out the menace?
I think the main way of doing it is through information, transparency, communication. It's about getting the people in the countries aware of those issues. It's about communicating about it. And it's about raising all the control system that this country has put in place. The Office of the Auditor General is a place where those things are being addressed quite well. We need to continue to work with them. We've been working with them very closely. And we need to put those issues in the street. And I'm talking to you as a media. I think you have an important role to play in enforcing governance and transparency and informing people about it. And I think it will be much better coming from you than coming from the World Bank. We're doing it with government. We've had cases in many countries where, either it was referring to a project or to something that has a big impact on governance, where the bank went very public about it. We haven't had any case in Sri Lanka, as I'd said. But that's something that the World Bank is very proud of in terms of the way we address those issues throughout the world. And there has been very good success on that. So we'll continue to do that.
Sri Lanka's economy has been in the spotlight, or should I say under fire, in recent months with the weight of the rupee depreciation, spiraling interest rates, a ballooning trade deficit, and of course higher inflation. Where do you stand on this, and what are the remedies do you think we should bring in?
I think you're right. I mean, we could say that, especially during the fall, when this whole issues came up and the reserves starting falling. I think the government took the right measure in stopping the intervention of the central bank in terms of for the exchange rate. And today we are in a position where the exchange rate is still fluctuating quite a lot. But it's going to tell you the true value of the rupee at the end. You have to let the market work. And I think that's the biggest lesson that we've heard. We could have avoided it as if the adjustment was taken much earlier. It's more difficult because we waited or the government waited. I think they have taken a series of very hard measures which needed to be taken. So my sense would be we are heading in the right direction.
What about the never-ending, the exacerbating Eurozone crisis, the results of the Greek elections, and also the political demise of Nicolas Sarkozy? Now, no matter how small or big, probably small maybe, but the impacts are there on Sri Lanka. But what is the impact in the short to mid term?
It's not small. It's really could have an impact in Sri Lanka. And one of the reasons is that you still are very dependent in your export to Europe, okay? And you want to be in a position where you diversify your clients, like everyone else will do, and you have the chance to be in a place where you have a big client or neighbor called India, and you have the whole Asia region. So you could move from diversifying your export from a Europe-centric type of export to moving into those markets. And I think the government is very conscious of that.
Now, there is increasing awareness, Ms. Gaye, on malnutrition and poverty being a major threat to humanity across the world. What steps are being taken by the likes of the World Bank to assuage some of the problems that arise?
I think malnutrition is the biggest puzzle in this country. You've made huge progress on poverty indicator. Per capita GDP is increasing. And malnutrition is really at the level of some of the poorest countries in Africa. So that says something. When you look at it, it's even more complex because malnutrition happens even for people that are not the poorest. So there is something around it that has to do with habits, that have to do with really the way people are educated in terms of what type of component of food they need to have. And that's quite specific for Sri Lanka. We're very concerned about it. Many donors are involved. I know that UNICEF is one of the big players in the nutrition arena. We are coming out with a health program in November this year, which will have a serious component on nutrition. But nutrition is multi-sectoral. A health project is not going to address it. So what I'm trying to do with the help of my team here and with government is to look at every one of our operations coming to a nutrition filter. So that you look at the program coming and you will say, it's a water project, for example. How is this going to help nutrition? It's an education project. How do you make sure that you have a serious component on nutrition that helps at school already kids to understand some of this issue? But it's a complex issue and something that we are really looking into seriously.
At the ACCA Sustainability Reporting Awards held in February, you said the 21st century is about sustainability and the role the corporate sector plays in achieving it. What are the key components would you put forward in terms of sustainable development in the long run?
I think I talked about governance, transparency and integrity, and I talked about social inclusion. On governance, transparency and integrity, I think I highlighted 2 or 3 factors. Number one was the need to have a board of governors that plays its role. Need to have a manager that is a manager, simply plays his role of manager. They need to report in a transparent manner on the accounting of the company, and they need to be public about what you do. So there is nothing to hide. On social inclusion, I thought I was just coming back from a field visit in the north and east, and I talked to some students in Eastern University in Batticaloa, and really found a group of people that are willing to be part of the development of this country and be part of, being involved in entrepreneurial work and being workers in enterprises, and they really wanted to be part of it. And what we have learned from even the way the World Bank is built is that you get the most when you have diversity in your company, because people can bring different aspects and things that you would not see if you are just going on one way would happen if you include people. And I think when I was talking about social inclusion, I also mentioned specifically women. And because I think that, you have a lot of very educated women, but where are they in the board of company? Where are they in the top of government position? Where are they when you're talking about big jobs and politics? They are not there. And I think the country is losing a lot there. And that's something that we really, I've been encouraging enterprise, and I've been telling the government also, look at those women and really use their potential as much as you can.
We've been talking to the newly appointed country director of the World Bank here in Sri Lanka, Diarietou Gaye, on Spotlight. After the break, Anushin Selvaraja speaks first to the managing director of the Nielsen company, Shaheen Kader, on the latest BCI results, and then to economist and LMD columnist Samantha Amarasinghe on the economy.